up? We've got something that I made for a buddy of mine. I took his business logo and put that onto a dial. It was particularly difficult to figure out where to put pips on it. So if you look really, really, really close, you'll see that they are on the inside, which you'd think, oh, hey, that's awesome. But what you don't think about is whenever you're setting hands and you're trying to set them based on locations of where the pips are so that you know where everything is, and you can't because you're covering it. So it took me a minute to set the hands, I can tell you that. So we've got his longest day custom dial on here. I did it in, it's essentially in aluminum, but did it all in silver. Went back and illumined it lightly. Do I have, of course I don't have a functioning light. Oh, I do. Just had to look to the other side. So you can see him in there, right? Fancy. So did a custom painted second sand. Did that in black with a nice bright green, just to give it a little bit of a pop. Did it in a brushed case. And then this is a new bezel that one of my buddies, he sent me 3 or 4 of them just to see if I like them, and gifted it to me. So thought, since I'm gifting him a watch, I would also pass along that gift. So I think it goes nice with it. Nice little setup there. So this would work well on stainless steel as well as leather. So that's another option for him on this. But I kind of like the looks of these on leather. Plus I wanted to give him the best possible thing I could. And this is one of my Italian leather straps. Matching brushed buckle on there. So he's got a smaller window exhibition case back. Sometimes I do those because they're a little bit lower of a rise right here. So it's a little bit more flush. The ones that have the big window kind of come out a little deeper and over. It's probably only a millimeter difference. But I set it up where he can engrave whatever he wants here. I wanted to surprise him, so you know, he can he does some engraving work for me. So he can engrave his own thing here. I wouldn't want to spill the beans and tell him that I wanted something that I guess I could have just went with an initial, right? He wouldn't have realized. But yeah, so there's his build. And since he probably he won't know much about it, let's go over his watch. Since he'll probably get this link, so he knows how to run his watch. This is an automatic mechanical. These bezels are held on with a tension ring, and I got this one on pretty tight, so you can turn it left and right. Man, is it on there tight. And my room is a little warm right now, so my hands are a little slick. So you can turn it. It's not very easy, but what you can do is you can gauge off your 15 right here. Since you don't have a little index marker there, you can just gauge on that if you're trying to set them up straight. So that looks about straight, right? So can go left and right. It's just held on with a tension ring. It's not a clickable bezel. And since this is an automatic mechanical, how that works is when you're wearing it, you're going to keep it running because you're going to move this rotor around, and it's going to keep it, as it's rocking back and forth, it's winding. But before you wear it each day, if you unscrew this from the threads and you hear it clicking and you can feel that it's off the crown tubes, right? So you can feel the play there. Now you can wind it. So a backwards roll winds it. A forward does nothing, but it's a lot easier than doing this. So this, you can do this if you want. This doesn't hurt anything, and it's a lot easier for me to kind of just hold it off there a little bit and wind it. So 4 or 5 seconds will keep it wound up decent before you put it on. So just in case you're not very active, you won't lose time. If you do it for closer to 20, 25 seconds, you will max out your 31-hour power reserve, but you will never know that because you can wind this thing forever. It just won't go up past 31 hour. And if you pull it to the one and only click, you can now set your time. It's not a hacking movement, so that's going to keep rolling. And you're kind of pulling back as you're setting, and you'll feel that this rocks back and forth because you have a wobble crown, and that doesn't allow lateral pressure to go through the stem into the movement and do anything. So it just kind of rolls with it. Okay, Google, what time is it? It's 2:52 p.m. And good luck figuring that out. You're going to have to look at your bezel up there and go, that's about right. Makes it nice and easy to push right back over and screw down. So there's your build, sir. Hopefully you're not too manly to wear it with some matching beads, but we've got some tiger eye brown in there, some black, and some hematite. Go with it nicely. Also, did you a custom longest day box? And of course, my phone isn't focusing in. So there's your box that goes with it. And as always, leather conditioner when applicable to keep that leather soft. Just buff it in like you would a shoe. Let it sit and remove any excess a little bit will go a long way, I promise you. Some watch cleaner. This is non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. It's good on all glass and metal parts. And then some scratch remover. So this is an acrylic glass, and you can scratch it. If you do, put a little bit on there and buff against it. This is for fine scratches. So if you gouge it out super deep, I might need to replace your glass. I know you actually like work. So this is for fine scratches, sir. You'll just buff against it using your microfiber cloth here. Generate some heat behind your thumb. Fill the scratch. If it's up and down, go left and right. Generate some heat, and it should go away in about 15 seconds. And that will be in there as well. And thank you so much for helping me out as much as you do. And hopefully you love your watch, man. I appreciate you. And if you guys want to continue to see builds in the future, like and subscribe. And you'll see them in real time. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And hopefully I build you a watch one day soon. Thanks, guys.